Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I hope that I'm in focus. It'll be really embarrassing if I'm not. I honestly want to do a follow-up video to this video that I did a couple months ago, but it's been like a couple months since then and a lot of things have changed. I keep seeing more and more of the same rhetoric that I was talking about in that video on TikTok, on YouTube, how it's so hard to be an adult in this economy, post-grad life, blah 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 blah. Let me just speak from the chest. Let me just speak from the heart, because this is a topic that I'm actively going through right now as a early 20-something, 23-year-old. I'm still very fresh post-grad life. Like, it hadn't even been a year since I graduated. It'll be a year in May. I was really vague in that unemployment video because I wanted it to be applicable in general to anybody who watched it, so I kept out a lot of information. But I went to school for psychology. I have a bachelor's of science in psychology and a minor in sociology. I can report that since that video, thankfully I do have a job now. I did find a job post-grad, and I'm not really going to get into like how did I find it, because I'm doing just what everybody else is doing. Tailoring my resume, networking on LinkedIn, making it a job to apply to jobs. Like, eventually you will find something will connect, some people will like you enough to want you on their team. In general, like, how hard adulting is and how hard it is to transition into like adolescence to adulthood in comparison to transitioning from like childhood to teenagehood or adolescence. It's 1000% harder to me. Like, this is worse than puberty. Going from high school, college, to just being thrown out into the world, into society, how this transition from adolescence to adulthood is worse than any other transitional stage of life. Besides maybe, you know, you're dying, but we won't never know how that really feels because we don't know what it's like on the other side. If there's an other side. Look how deep I'm already getting into this. It'll be a year in May 2025. That'll be my 1-year anniversary from graduating from college, and life has been really interesting, really tough. I've never felt these feelings before, complaining about how hard it is to find a job, and it truly is. And it feels like it's even worse now that it's like a new year, 2025, class of 2025, class of 2026, class 2027. Like, if you're about to graduate college, or you're even for high schoolers who might not be going the college route, good for you. This is really great for people who are about to approach this time of life, because honey, I'm in the thick of it and I'm gagged. Before you graduate college, before you graduate high school, but I'm really talking to people who are like in college because that's where I can speak from. I do have a degree. You go to college mostly to gain employment, right? Like, it's supposed to be a training period. Like, you're literally paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to hopefully network, to hopefully academically learn, to party, to make all these connections, to be in an isolated environment like a college campus, to basically be trained to hopefully be like at the top pick of people who want to be employed. Like, employers want you because of everything you did in college. Like, it's basically like you're paying all this money to be hopefully set up to make more money. Or, you know, it's a prerequisite for the same thing. Like, oh, I have to go to college because I want to go to medical school. I want to go to law school. I want to become a therapist. It's a prerequisite for these other things that are also going to make you stand out as whatever you want to be. So if you're in college right now, I say to set yourself up for success, you need to be somebody who has a very stacked resume. The grades are not going to cut it. Summa cum laude isn't going to cut it anymore. It's so many people just like you who have the same grades as you, who have the same little extracurriculars. Girl, you have to have something to make you stand out, and that's going to be a stacked resume. You must get internship experience while you're in college, and you need to get a lot of it. 2 internships. That's all I had, and I still struggle. You need more than that. You need 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, they say, oh, don't try to get no internship while you're a freshman. It's very hard to get internship as a freshman. You should still try to get one. You need to set yourself up for success, and the only way to do that is these employers want to see that you have work experience. It's unfortunate that it's this way, because it's like in school, you're paying all this money. You kind of want to get the most out of it, and that means like getting good grades and making the most out of your degree, but you need to do it in the work experience realm. Also, I hear a lot of talk about like, oh, I regret majoring in marketing. I regret majoring in psychology. I should have majored in blah, 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 blah. Unless you're doing something super niche, it doesn't really matter what you major in. It kind of just goes back to the work experience. Like, I studied psychology. I have a BS in psychology and a minor in sociology because I went into school wanting to be a marriage and family therapist. Then I was like, actually, I don't want to do that anymore. Or at least I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to go straight through to grad school. I need to pivot. What's kind of similar to psychology? Marketing. Science of the mind, science of consumerism. I know people who have a theater degree. I promise you, theater degree. She went to law school. Like, it doesn't really matter. Okay, maybe it matters in like the engineering STEM world. Like, if you want to work as an engineer, you probably need to have an engineering degree. They're probably not going to take no theater degree. But it's not as important as people make it seem. I have a psychology degree, but all of my internship and work experience that I was just talking about, having a stacked resume, all of it was in marketing. None of it was in like traditional mental health, behavioral, clinical side of psychology, which is the route most people take when they major in psychology. I think psychology, as much hate as it gets in like the major world, I think it's a great major because it's very applicable to a lot of industries and careers. It's the science of the mind. You use your mind for everything. You behave every time you go out into the world. Behavior is applicable to all these other things. So it's all about what you do with your major, not so much the actual major. Post graduation. So after I graduated, I actually had a internship my last semester at my school, and I thought they were going to give me a job. They did not. So I was kind of just left out to like, okay, I guess I'm looking for jobs now. It was awful. That's why I made that video. People be like, oh, I applied to 300 jobs, 600 jobs. Y'all, I don't even know a number. It's definitely, I don't even know. It was so many. And what I left out of that video that I did a couple months ago is that in between me graduating and now, I had actually gotten a job offer. I got a job offer in June. But y'all, I turned it down because it was too low. There was one of those jobs where they did not advertise the pay on the description, which that's a red flag. And I go through the interview process, which was actually really quick because this was a small company, but they were not budging on the pay. It was like, I don't even want to repeat it. It was so low to the point where it's like, I turned it down because it's like, it's not even worth me driving out. Yeah, it was hybrid, so I'd have to drive like 60 miles. Like, no, it wasn't even worth me doing that. It was that low to the point where I just kept looking. And in this time, just having fun, you know, I was enjoying the summertime with my family, applying to jobs like crazy. I was focusing a lot on my YouTube channel. That's when I was like preparing for me having a really good fall on my YouTube channel. If you're not working right after college, it's okay. It's okay. You have your whole life to work and be a slave to capitalism. You just graduated from college. Congratulations. Congratulations. Definitely still try to network and do what you need to do to get a job, but don't put so much pressure on yourself if you don't have to. Because when you actually get a job, which now that I have a job, y'all, it is so freaking hard to manage time now. I didn't realize how much free time I had in college and high school. It's crazy. Like, your job really take up a lot of your life. 40 hours a week doesn't sound like a lot, but like, do the math. And I work from home, so it's weird. Like, I don't have to report anywhere, but obviously, like, I'm having to do, people are relying on me to do things. I'm having to make a list of everything that needs to get done and get it done. And then by the time I look up, it's like 6 o'clock. And I'm like, what happened to the day? What they also don't tell you about adulthood is that a lot of your friends are weeded out. Like, if you went to a college like me, where it was like a college where people were coming from all over the country, all over the world, you know, you make these cool friends, and then y'all all like graduate and then go your separate ways. You go your separate ways. For some reason, my camera just shut off, and y'all, I never finished recording this video, so the rest of it's gonna be voiceover. Especially with the friends thing, you know, we hear it all the time. It's so hard to make friends as an adult, and you have to definitely work harder, because when you're in high school, when you're in college, it's easy because like you're going to the same classes with these people. You see them literally every single day or every other day if you're in college or whatever your schedule is. Like, it's a lot of consistency that you don't have to put effort into the consistency. Like, it's mandated. But when you're on your own as an adult, you have to go out of your way to really be there and be a good friend and make plans. And you have to put more effort into them because it's just you now. It's no teacher or no government telling you, hey, you have to see this person every day. I'm naturally somebody who has kind of been a lone wolf, but COVID exacerbated it. I think I'm doing a good job trying to have a social life, but also don't feel compelled to do anything that you don't want to. If you're just somebody who's naturally to themselves and introverted, and you feel like, oh, I have to have at least 1, 2, 3 friends, or I have to have a boyfriend. Like, I've noticed that with this time period, you know, you go to school, get a job, get established, move out, find a boyfriend, get married, be married for 2.5 years, then have 2.5 kids. It feels like a lot of pressure to start adjusting or start adhering to a timeline that I noticed as I've approached my mid 20s. Don't succumb to that pressure. Your life is your life. Make the most of it. Do what you want to do. Don't ever feel like you have to do some things or like you're expected to do some things. And just because you're expected to do something and you see others doing it, that shouldn't also make you feel some type of way. Like, especially during this point of life, we're all doing different things. You know, a lot of us are trying to establish ourselves, find ourselves, figure out who we are, not feel so lost and just like a kid thrown out into the world. Like, we're no longer children, unfortunately. Like, we're actually adults, and it's time to start adhering to adult roles. You know, we're all doing something different. I know people who are married, who have children, who are single and lost like me. Like, we're in the same stage of life, but everybody's life is different. Everybody's life is dynamic, and you can't let comparison be the thief of joy. Be happy for that person. Be happy for yourself. Congratulate yourself every single day for even still being out here alive, breathing, and hopefully well. Never lose sight of your goals and that innate curiosity that comes with like finding out, why am I here? What's the purpose of me being here? What fuels me? What makes me happy? Jealousy, anger, and resentment should only be temporary emotions. They should never permanently bring you down. I can't talk about adulthood and transitioning from adolescence to adulthood without talking about imposter syndrome. It's something that everyone faces at least once in their life, most of us multiple times in our lives, and this time is like exclamation mark on imposter syndrome, because like I said earlier, you still kind of feel like at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, like you still feel like a little kid who happened to have the training wheels cut off, and now it's just like, I gotta ride this bike alone by myself for the rest of my life. Like, as much as universities and colleges feel like, oh, we're going to prepare you guys for success, we're going to prepare you guys for career readiness, nothing will prepare you from going to just sitting in lecture halls, writing down notes, taking tests, doing arbitrary things like that you've been doing your whole life since you were 5 years old in kindergarten, to like being in front of executives, being in front of people who are more senior to you, and having to do what they say, having to have big adult conversations with them, keep up with them. It feels so weird, but you're in that position for a reason. You worked for that position. You work to be in the position that you're in. All the studying, the time, the internships, the skill that you don't even realize you've had because you still feel like that little kid in third grade English class. I get it. It's something I'm still battling with, and I can only assume that the only cure to imposter syndrome is just time. Like, in time, you will realize you are more capable than you think. There is a reason why you're here. Your resume isn't just pulled out of thin air, girl. Like, you have the skills, you have the experience. Now you just got to apply it. It may feel odd because it's like, wait, I was just in school, like, just taking orders from somebody, and now I'm supposed to be giving orders to someone, or I'm supposed to be having conversations and talking with presidents. But girl, it had to happen sooner or later. You are meant to be where you are. You have the accomplishments and the experience to back it up. So never, never, ever doubt the position that you're in. You're there for a reason. And you're only going to continue to grow, and the imposter syndrome will gradually fade. I think that's all I wanted to touch on in this video. This is really just an interesting time of life, and I feel like people don't talk about it enough. Like, you're kind of just expected to assume the position as adult. People out here paying bills, people out here having their own place, having to support themselves, and then other people are like having to support like extended family members, or they have kids, or they have a husband. Like, I don't know how y'all do it, but it's getting done. We're going to make it to the finish line. It's okay. Always prioritize yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure that you're fueling your passions, you're unleashing your creativity, you're having that me time. As you continue to move through life, you're only going to discover more and more about yourself. And to me, that's one of the beauties of life. Comment down below. Are you 18 to 24 right now? How are you feeling? Is this truly worse than puberty? And if you're not in this age range, if you're older, let us know how your time transitioning from adolescence to adulthood was. And if you have any tips for us that are currently in the trenches.